The Russian invasion will, of course, be a big issue for President Biden tonight in the State of the Union address. But a new CBS News poll just out this morning finds that Americans also have other issues on their minds. And the poll also shows that the president's overall approval rating is at 44%, a number that is 18 points lower than just a year ago, driven down in part by growing concerns over the economy and inflation. Ed O'Keefe is at the White House for us. Ed, good morning. What do we think the president's going to do to try to get these numbers up?
Well, good morning, Tony. The speech he's giving tonight is certainly not the one he was expecting to give even just a few weeks ago. But the Russian invasion has forced a rewrite. And that same poll shows most Americans want to hear about the president's foreign policy and how a war in Europe could affect people here at home. As Russian attacks intensify in Ukraine, new CBS News polling shows a majority of Americans supporting U.S. actions in response to Russia. But they're also concerned about a wider war. President Biden is downplaying Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to put his nuclear forces on alert.
Mr. President, should Americans be worried about nuclear war?
No. And the isolation of Russia continues. Days after the U.S. and dozens of other countries imposed historic sanctions, Standard & Poor's downgraded Russia's credit rating to junk status, and Russian airlines are grounded by airspace restrictions across Europe. But Ukrainian officials visiting Washington are pushing for more.
They will probably erase Kyiv, Kharkiv, and the other cities from the map.
They're pleading with the U.S. to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
We need to protect the sky because they are using the sky to shoot us.
But the White House says that's unlikely.
A no-fly zone would require implementation. It would require deploying U.S. military to enforce, which would be a direct conflict, potentially a direct conflict, and potentially a war with Russia, which is something we are not planning to be a part of.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are now focused on sending more weapons and humanitarian aid to Ukraine.
Vladimir Putin will lose this battle. He will lose this war. He will be a pariah amongst not only NATO and America, but amongst all civilized nations around the world.
The economic impacts on energy and food prices as a result of this conflict are not just going to go away in 2, 3, or 4 weeks. This is going to be a multi-year challenge.
And the crisis is set to dominate the president's first formal State of the Union address tonight. And that's what most Americans want to hear. But other top concerns include the economy, inflation, and the pandemic. So on those issues of the economy and inflation, let me show you two more numbers from our new CBS News poll out this morning. 62% of Americans disapprove of Mr. Biden's handling of the economy. And when it comes to inflation, the response is even bleaker. 70% disapprove of his response to the recent spike in prices. So to ease that economic pain, tonight he's expected to call on Congress to help lower the price of things for Americans by calling for a new child tax credit, expanded health care options, and raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Nate?
And we are looking forward to what he's going to say tonight. Ed, thank you.